Hi friends, welcome back to Arc Tutorials. This is a brand new series that I'm starting on the channel. A lot of you have written to me complimenting the work that I do on Angular, React, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and a lot of you have been writing to me asking for SQL tutorial. So here we are, brand new tutorial series where I'll try and cover everything that you need to learn and master SQL with me. Let's get started. This is part 1, introduction. Alright, so what does SQL stand for? SQL stands for Structured Query Language. SQL is a standard language for storing, manipulating, retrieving data in databases. Initially, it was known as SQL, S-E-Q-U-E-L. That is stands for Structured English Query Language. Later it became Structured Query Language. It became a standard in 1986 and then it was adopted as an international standard in 1987. The important thing that you should know is point number 1 and 2, which is SQL stands for Structured Query Language, and SQL is the standard language for storing, manipulating, and retrieving data in databases. We'll cover everything: what is table, what are databases, everything in detail. For now, this is what you should know. Alright, why should we use SQL? Right, that's one of the most important and basic fundamental question that comes to mind when you're learning SQL. So SQL can execute queries against a database. It can retrieve the data that is stored. We can insert records into a database. We can update, we can delete, we can create new databases, new tables, stored procedures, views, set permissions, do operations on the existing schemas, and much more. So in all, think of it this way, that using SQL you can do anything and everything with respect to your database as long as you have the required permissions. Now, when we talk about SQL, there are a lot of different vendors and products in market that you can use. These are all relational databases. Okay, I'll cover that also, what is relational database, what is a NoSQL database, and much more. The thing that you should know is all of these SQL products, no matter which vendor, which product you use, will have the same standard language, same standard queries. Okay, so it's your choice whichever you want to use. You can use MySQL, you can use Postgres, you can use Amazon Redshift, you can use Oracle database, MariaDB, BigQuery, or any other relational database. The queries will be same. As part of this tutorial series, I will show you with MySQL and Postgres. Alright, but like I said, the queries will be standard. The queries will work on any product, on with any vendor. Alright, one thing that comes to mind is why should we use database and not an Excel sheet, right? Or any other flat file that you want to store. Now think of it this way, there are limitations with Excel sheet. Okay, like it's primarily used for data analysis, financial modeling, small scale data management, etc. Now you can store the data in spreadsheets in rows and columns, right? We all know that in Excel sheet we store it in table format. There are limitations with respect to capacity. There are limitations with respect to scalability and also collaboration. Okay, now you can't really host a file in a server and every time edit it and all that. So that's where Excel stands. With respect to database, now you can use it to store large amount of data, complex relationship data. You can use tables to define the schemas, and it can have complex queries and data relationships, etc. You can do data manipulation. There is data integrity that comes with it, like the checks you can add, the indexes, the constraints, and much more. So now with all these concepts clear, there are some few things that you should know, very basic things that you should know. First, what is a database, right? A database is nothing but a collection of data. In simple words, when you collect a lot of data together, you can call it a database. Now this database can be different, can be I would say it will be different for different companies, right? If you're talking about a pharma company, they will have data related to patients, medicines, research, surveys, etc. If you talk about Expedia or a flight booking service, they will have details of flights, customers, trips, etc., etc. Amazon will have products, reviews, customers, payments, etc. So when you collect your the data together of of any big organization, that becomes your database. Table is nothing but collection of related data entries in a database. So think of it this way: lot of tables will make up a database. Okay, we said database is collection of data. Now I'll give you an example of Amazon. Amazon will have a table for products, which will have all the details of products. They will have a table which will have payments. So all the details regarding payments will be in that table. They will have a table related to users. So all these things, they'll separate it out in different tables. You put all these tables into one database. That becomes your database, right? So that is the difference between database and a table. Table is a collection of related data. Okay, like the smaller granular data that you spread out. What is a row or a record? It's nothing but a single entry in a table or a row. Okay, basically any values that you insert in a table is called a row or a record. Column is nothing but the property of data in a table. Okay, property or attribute, it's nothing but like a field. Okay, what value? Let's say you are creating a table of users. You will have a property or an attribute you can call username, password, email, first name, last name, address, phone number. All these are properties, or you can say attributes. What is a schema? Schema means the structure of the database, okay, which includes tables, columns, and their relationship. Okay, so I told you lot of tables, when you club them together, becomes a database, but it can also have relationships between different tables and columns and constraints and entities. That's what becomes a schema. Okay, I'll cover all of this as we move along in the tutorial, but for today this is just the introduction for you. I hope it's clear, because these are some of the common basic things that you must know. Thank you so much for joining in this episode. In the next episode, I'm going to show you SQL installation. I will show you installation of MySQL and Postgres, so you can start practicing without paying any money. Those are for free and you can have it installed on your local machine. Alright, I hope you like this tutorial. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. If you like my work and tutorials, please do consider buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/arctutorials. Thank you so much for joining. See you in the next episode.